Preview.
Well, episode 73, lot to talk about. Big holiday weekend. Baseball, although the Marlins did not play yesterday, I still made it possible to see some baseball.
I know. I want to hear about it. You got this cool Road to Tokyo shirt on.
The America's baseball qualifier.
It's so cool.
Going on today also and the rest of this week.
It's so cool. And you went up to, it was, what
Port
stadium was that?
Port St.
At the Met
Lucie,
Stadium?
At the hated Mets place.
Which I got to say, I love that stadium.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty nice.
I hate
It's way
the Mets.
nicer than ours in Jupiter.
You really think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I like seeing baseball better there. I'm not sure it's better. But the reason I bring it up is like that, or you could wear, I got to tell you something, watching that soggy baseball in Boston.
Yeah, brutal.
Just rained, nasty. I mean, it was just a brutal weekend for the Marlins.
Yeah. So 2 losses. The second one tougher to swallow than the first because they kind of ran away with it on that one. But then having that third game postponed, maybe that helped.
Yeah, I think so
to a certain degree.
Day off.
I mean, day off, and then you got another day off on Monday. But injury-prone Marlins, and then instead of having Sandy burn up a start there in a third game, now you got him fresh, a couple more days rest. And he goes tonight against Ray up in Buffalo because they've moved now from Dunedin to
the
Buffalo.
Blue Jays.
It's
going to be tough. I mean, it doesn't get easier.
The Blue Jays are brutal. They got the triple threat of the ex ball player, ex All Stars, and then 2 Hall of Famers in Craig Biggio's son, Dante Bichette's son, and then Vlad Guerrero's son. They're a fun team.
Have you seen
watch.
the videos they show like Guerrero's swing compared to his dad's swing?
It's almost identical.
It's so cool.
They watched him do it his whole life.
But it's so cool when they put it side by side, how similar they are.
For sure. So, tough couple days in Boston.
Just
but
nasty.
They're a 10 game over 500 team.
No, but I mean, but it's just everything about it was tough. It was funny how grim, they would show the shot of, it was just grim, rainy, cold, miserable, playing a tough Red Sox team.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give an inch. I mean, it was just like, ugh.
Yeah. And it seemed like they had hitters for days. Like they're just that deep, even into the bottom of that lineup. So look, I'm looking forward to the series against Toronto. Now they will make up that Sunday game at the end of this road trip. So they're going to have to go back and face them. Hopefully the weather is going to be better up there for that. But so here's what's crazy. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow because tomorrow is when this guy is going to pitch. There is a phenom guy pitcher. I think he's 6'6", 260, 250. Kid from Homestead, played at South Dade. Is on the 27th of May was his debut in the majors, and he is a straight up monster. So Alek Manoah from Homestead went to South Dade, pitches tomorrow against Pablo Lopez, and that's going to be one hell of a game. I can't wait for it.
It's cool.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's a local kid. He played at South Dade, then he went to West Virginia and got drafted by those guys on the amateur draft. And at one point in time, I think earlier this season, he was the number 5 prospect for them going into spring training. So looking forward to see local talent, but man, I'd like to beat those Blue Jays because they're brutal.
Good stuff.
Yeah. USA baseball. Let's talk about that.
So you didn't miss baseball yesterday.
I didn't miss it yesterday. I did miss it Sunday, although I watched some other parts of other games that I wanted.
So you went Monday up to
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. Home of the Mets.
Yep. Went with my girlfriend's sister who was in town from Alabama. Shout out to Lenny. Right now, those 2 girls are on their way, or maybe already there by now, to St. Pete to see her son. So
cool.
Yeah, Donna and Lenny, love you guys. Get back soon.
That's awesome.
Safe.
So who did you see play? Well,
so
first of all, who is here? Who's the America's qualifier? What teams are here?
So that's Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Colombia, Cuba, Nicaragua, USA. And maybe I'm missing one, but I don't think so.
And it's metal bat or wood bat?
Wood bat.
Wood bat. Okay.
Wood bat. That didn't deter home runs from happening. A lot of deep shots. Eddie Alvarez had a couple ones that. And
well, who did you see play?
So I saw Team USA versus Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua was the home team because of the draw,
Yep.
how they drew out that situation. But very, very, look, I don't care what team it is in South America or Central America. They are going to bring fans because when is the only other time they're going to get to see Nicaragua baseball? You're not. Like, you're going to go to Port St. Lucie. I don't care if you're from wherever you're from. They were there
fun.
Wearing their blue and white, having the flags,
That's
covered
awesome.
in the flags, doing all kinds of chants. I don't even know what they were saying. And I kind of semi-speak Spanish.
That's awesome.
But I think they had a couple little, slang terms that only Nicaraguans use for their ball players. But they were having a good time. Not sore losers at the end, still celebrated.
And what was that? What was this final score?
Final score is 7-1, I believe. Yeah.
How much? What are we talking about capacity wise? Half full?
I would say half. I don't think there was a restriction on it, and there was mask was encouraged. So it was an optional thing, and most of the people weren't wearing masks.
That's exciting
at the game, but it was cool. A ton of foul balls. Kids were running all over the place. Funny story where this guy and his son, and I think maybe his brother, uncle, whatever. So they had the two boys. They were behind us. But when this one foul ball, the only foul ball that came to that section anywhere remotely catchable, these kids are off doing something else, not baseball related.
Yeah.
And they missed the foul ball.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's good. I'm glad you got to go.
That environment is awesome. There's a lot of young kids. Then you got a lot of crafty veterans that are still wanting to hang around the game. Todd Frazier, Matt Kemp. These guys have been, playing for a long, long time. But in that environment, playing against a team like Nicaragua, they were, men amongst boys. So when they got up to the plate, they freaking walk. I want to say Todd Frazier got intentionally walked maybe twice. But our guy, the only guy in the Marlins organization that's on that roster is Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez stole the show. Bases loaded. I think it was the third or fourth inning. Nicaragua threatening. We're still only up like 2-1 or 3-1. And he comes in, pinch hits the inning before, and now comes out to the field in the top of this, whatever, third or fourth inning it was.
At what position?
At second base. And smoking hot line drive in between second base and where he was standing, where he was playing the spot. I guarantee you that joker was horizontal and caught that ball. And you could hear the cheer of all the Nicaraguans. They heard the crack. They saw how fast it was going. They're like 2 runs for sure. And then
he robs it. And then what turns it into a double play?
Yeah. Snatched him right there.
It would threw it, just lobbed it to second and got the double.
The guy was a beast. And he had a couple. I don't think he got a hit. He walked one time and then stole a base and then scored a run. But he was the spark plug. He was kind of the Jazz Chisholm that the Marlins have for that team.
Cool.
For that team. And it was cool. You got Mike Scioscia is the coach and manager of that club.
So that's great.
Mike Scioscia used to be the manager at the Angels. I was there at Angels Stadium when they for I think Game 5 of the World Series against the Giants. That guy's a class act, and USA Baseball is no joke, so organized and so has the integrity that they're only going to have a top-notch guy like that. And he brings not only the coaching part of it, but also as a player. So really super cool. Wish I was there today. Today we're playing the Dominicans, which should be a much tougher matchup for us. So
that's exciting. It's cool that it's here. It's cool it's in South Florida. I'd be interested to see. I guess it's probably just an easy access point through Miami in COVID.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I saw there was some local coverage of the Cuban team hitting Miami. Going up there.
I want to say Venezuela beat Cuba yesterday, in a shocker. But those guys have really good players too. There's a ton of Central America and South America have tons of talented baseball players, and they're showcasing them, this week. And now here's the deal: if you don't, the top 2 teams from this qualifier are automatic Olympic qualified, and
that's it. You're done.
Yeah, you're in. But there is another path, and it's through Mexico, and that's the next qualifier. And I'm going to get some more information about that, so I can.
It's cool. We'll be following,
not be fact checked by all these haters out there.
We'll cover it. You're the fact checker, Thomas.
Yes.
You got to get it right.
Yeah, we didn't do a show yesterday, which is typically going to be Madam G's or Gabby's mashup Monday, but I also have to say it might have to be. I'm going to have to do a tandem milkshake Monday because this is a mango milkshake from Walls on 67th and US 1, and it's pretty tasty.
It's pretty good.
Mhm.
What was I going to say about this week? We've got coming up. We missed our mashup Monday. You're right. So Tuesday is a milkshake Monday. We'll go back.
Yeah, we're coming back to normal now. So tomorrow's Weenie Wednesday. Thursday
tomorrow.
we've got Carlos or Jose. Sorry,
Jose Malaya.
Yeah, Jose from Biscayne Bay Brewing, which we're going to end up calling Thirsty Thursday.
And then who do we play later this week? Who's
Pirates?
Oh, so we got Pirates. Yeah, oh, they're terrible.
We got three with Toronto and Buffalo, then straight to the Pirates. And
did you see
back to Boston before we get to come back?
Did you see the squeeze between home plate and first with the Pirates?
No, I did not.
So I can't remember how the ball came off the plate, but long story short, threw the ball to first, and instead of stepping on first, the first baseman tried to chase down a retreating first base runner. Batter.
Oh, wow. Dang. How did that work out?
It did not.
Not so good.
And threw it to the catcher. The catcher misses the ball. Oops. The guy gets to first. They throw it again. I mean, it was like, I got to send you the video. Everyone should watch it. It was like the most, it was like Little League, type stuff. Because like I said, all the guy had to do is retreat to first base and tag the base. Right. And it was 2 outs, inning over. And of course, it had to be the Pirates. I mean, the Pirates are so bad.
Yeah. Well, that might help us because we can really use some W's.
Some reset.
Running on a 3-game skid potentially could have been more with that. Luckily, that game got canceled, postponed on Sunday. But I'm glad you brought that squeeze up because that actually happened not in a bad way, in a good way. A well-executed squeeze with a runner on third.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked out for Team USA. So
that's
you
cool.
could just tell. I mean, look, the Nicaraguans had a lot of heart. They played their they left everything on the ball diamond, and you got to respect them for that. They had a lot of enthusiasm. They had a lot of fans, a lot more fans than Team USA. And you got it. Yeah, my hats are off to those guys, and I'm not sure how much further they can go in the tournament because it's a gauntlet that you got to run with Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you got
Dominicans and Cubans and Venezuelans.
It's interesting. It's to me, it's like baseball's back in the Olympics, softball's back in the Olympics. I like seeing the international. Like I love seeing Team USA play Japan. Yeah. I love us seeing play in Korea. Like that to me as a baseball fan is very interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's happening. Like I think we've got to beef up this. The idea of a World Cup of baseball. I guess everyone says the problem is Americans will be dominant. And, I lived that in Canada. There was talk of that when we used to play the Soviet Union. And it was like, yeah, but if we ever put together an all-star team and take on the Red Army team, and guess what? Like it wasn't the gap was not that big.
Right.
We were very arrogant. And I think that, I just would love to see a team of Japanese all-stars take on an American team. Right. It's just fun. Whatever.
But do you think? I mean, and here's the real question: do you think that the product that we've got out there, don't get me wrong, pretty good product, not as good as a team that had Fernando Tatis, Mike Trout, Grom.
But that's the thing, but I got to tell you something. One of the things that's interesting about so I grew up watching Canadian hockey. And, I don't think there's any argument Canada's the best at hockey, but you saw the chemistry of the team. It's like Team USA, man. We've gotten bounced out of the Olympics. Like you've got to have a team that works. You got to have young, hungry guys.
Yeah.
You still have to build a team. So sometimes these all-star teams don't work. Right. And it's interesting how you said that there's veterans, there's young guys, there's guys trying to make a name for themselves. There's guys trying to get back in the game. Like there's a motivated crowd that just wants to go stomp people. And also it's tough. I mean, when you're USA baseball, it's tough. I mean, it's like everyone's gunning for. It's like they would say about back in the day of the Canes. It's like one thing you can count on. This is Nicaragua's World Series.
Right.
Like,
if they would have won that game last
exactly.
night, I can promise you, nobody that was there from Nicaragua was showing up to work today.
Yeah.
That'd have been a national holiday.
They're playing like it's their World Series every game against the United States. So you have to have a team that is ready for that pressure and ready just to stomp people. Right, because you better have your A game. There's no time to warm up. Yeah. They're going to jump on top of you, and you better be ready.
So you think the hunger factor of these not top tier guys is going to be the difference?
That in my experience in Canadian hockey, was you were always better off. It was almost like a little less talent and a little more, yeah. And that always worked out better. Yeah. It always seemed to, at the end, or maybe put it the other way, like USA basketball, there just were some teams that had on paper, that should never lose to Argentina that lost to Argentina. So that's the programming. That's how it goes. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, like I said, and the other difference is, man, this is tournament baseball. Yeah. Cuba has always dominated at this isn't a 168 game season. It's tournament baseball. Right. It's a different game. It's a different game and a different mentality. And a lot of these Caribbean ball players are used to playing that type of schedule. Yeah. Think about in America, our young kids play tournament schedule, right? Every weekend you go play a tournament. But as soon as you get into high school, college, everything else, it becomes the grinding baseball, the season long.
Right. And these guys are used to just playing stretches where they're just doing 8 or 10 games at a time.
Even their pitchers, the pitch count's different for them. They're used to setting up. They got middle relievers that are used to coming in.
Yeah, which happened yesterday in that game.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. I mean, they had one guy that you would think would have been the closer that was throwing 100 miles an hour. No, he was just a setup man.
He's a setup man.
And the guy that came in after him was throwing like 79.
Really?
And weird junk. Yeah.
That's funny.
So,
and that's the other thing. It's funny that you say that because that is the other thing that it's like you see them dial pitchers in 2-3 at bats, but that first time you see that guy, it's hard. And then sometimes,
Oh yeah, no, they were just frozen because I mean, I watched them because where we were sitting on the third base side and the where the bullpen for the visiting team is over there right alongside there. So I was looking just from like here to the corner and seeing the catcher catch him and seeing how hot they were coming in. I'm like, this is going to be bad for these guys.
Interesting.
And it was. I mean, I know they didn't get a hit off that guy. Yeah. He was just throwing straight heat. So he actually hit one guy, and I think it came in at 95. And that guy, and I'm not sure what he maybe was dazed, just like started walking back towards the dugout, like not knowing what just happened. That really,
it's interesting.
95 in the back.
It's interesting. Did you see the highlight? I got to get it up on Mainline Marlins. Did you see the highlight where the minor league game where the fan came, the pitcher beamed the guy, and the fan charged the mound?
No, he did not.
It's so great. It's like terrible.
I would do.
It's terrible.
But he's banned for life now.
He jumped in there. He approaches the thing. It's funny because.
Was he related to the guy?
Who knows? No, I think
super fan.
He's just a super fan, and he goes. And it was so that there's a couple of elements of that are great. It's, first of all, he rushes the mound. The pitcher is not concerned. He's not looking, and then he sees him on the corner of the eye, and he kind of turns, get ready to fight. Right? It's like a scary situation.
Right.
You don't know if the guy has a knife or whatever. He turns to fight and get ready to fight, and then it was like classic. Being a kid. What do you think happens next? Squares up, and then of course one of his buddies, one of the other players, comes and just
tackles the dude.
Oh, just crap, oh my god! Like I wouldn't say tackles him, just blows him up, right? Just like hits him as hard as he can hit him.
Oh dang!
Like blindsides him, not punch, not a sucker punch.
Yeah,
but just hits shoulder right into the guy's, right into the guy's his back. Takes him out, right? It ended right there.
Oh, nice.
But
then security came. Oh, yeah. And then he got arrested. And
that guy. It's so crazy. It's funny because I saw Denise. I saw a funny tweet, and they were just showing highlights from this weekend of all people acting crazy, and it just said the government should have funded 4 weeks of therapy for every person in America before they came out. Like we're out in the street now. We're just acting like lunatics,
crazy people, just like the two yahoos or the guy that ran on the Super Bowl. Another clown. Yeah.
No, in basketball, I think
he had a bet on himself that it was going to happen. I'm not sure they're going to.
Well, no, they took it back. They reneged. Oh, he bragged about it. He tipped it off. But it.
Yeah, if you did that, you don't want to go on social media and say, "Hey, by the way, I wagered $1 million on myself." That a fan
on some Russian. It was like some Russian betting site. They never would have put it together if he.
No, he never would have gotten that money. No, that was he lost all of it. All right, so tonight, Sandy going against Ray. Look, the deal is we got some injuries. I think we're going to have to go to Jacksonville and get some guys up here and start making that turning that a little bit. I don't know if that's Joe Dunnan. I mean, Anderson is out. Rojas. We've had some problems, some lesser intense injuries at Adam Duvall and Jazz. So I think we've got to go back to the product that we created, the thing that we became the number 4 in the league in our farm system, and start bringing some of these guys up to see if they're going to be, challenged for the spots or, be able to contribute in a limited capacity until these guys get back to normal. So
we're in the dog days of the season right now.
This is the worst.
We need
it
some
seems
wins.
like as soon as one guy gets healthy, another key component to the Marlins' success gets injured. So get healthy.
Christina says, "Hey guys."
Tell her hi.
David Singer says, "Hey Winker."
Yeah, Singer.
Yeah.
And Bob Powers, when are you guys going to talk about something interesting?
Oh, I love it, Bob.
And Tommy Stitt, he says, "Tommy Stitt, I got your green chilies."
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, because he went to New Mexico, and I put in a special request for some
order
from Hatch.
Shout out to Uncle Bob.
He's always on point, that guy. Always.
Awesome.
All right, so boys, let's flip the M tonight. Go fish.
Thanks, Denise.
Episode 73 is in the books.